Yeah, let's do this.
Hi, and welcome to the Beer News Report. Cheers. I'm your host, Art Maurice, and this is being filmed at the Create TV studios in San Jose, California. You're welcome to drink along with me as I find it makes the show more entertaining. Now, this show is about 10 minutes long, so I'll be drinking this whole beer because that's what good reporters do. Not that I'm a good reporter. Heck, I don't even qualify to be a good reporter. But that's what I heard they do. I need a drink. You may have noticed that I got a new t-shirt on. I decided to dress down this time and show you my t-shirt for the Beer News Report. It's kind of cool. I just printed them out now, and I like it. I hope you like it. Anyways, I'm always doing research for this show, and I came across a research paper by Deutsche Bank. It's called Concept Imagine 2030, and from now on, I'm just going to call it Imagine 2030. This copy of it I have right here, I'll post the link to it. It's free, and I highly recommend you get it. This is a research paper on what Europe has to do to catch up with the USA and China. It's pretty cool. I don't have time to cover all 80 pages, but I do want to cover two topics. In 2030, in that decade, plastic money, meaning credit cards and debit cards, will go away. And the growth of blockchain and its effect on cryptocurrency. So grab a beer, sit down, because these two topics will affect you too. Cheers. Okay, we all know what plastic money is. It's credit cards and debit cards. I don't know anyone today that doesn't have at least one of these cards. But by the end of this decade, most of you won't have any of these. Now, if you talk to anyone in cryptocurrency, they will tell you that fiat money, this stuff, is going away. But according to this report, plastic money will go away first. What's going to replace it? Cryptocurrency, right? Now, according to this report, it will be replaced by mobile payments. That's right, Apple Pay, Google Pay, PayPal, Venmo, all those other apps we use. That's going to replace plastic money. The main reason is convenience, speed, and absence of fees. Think about it. When you leave home without your credit cards, you may leave home without your credit cards, but you'll never leave home without your cell phone. You probably have your cell phone pocket protector so that you can keep both cash and credit cards next to your cell phone. What makes you so sure that this is going to happen? Imagine 2030 states that it's already happening in China. The first method of payment is the mobile app Alipay. And in Europe, 8% are using mobile payments. They're being done with Apple Pay, Google Pay, and Samsung Pay. But this is primed to take off in the next decade. Even retailers are taking note as they install more mobile payment apps to give the customers what they want. With both the customers and the retailers switching to mobile payment apps, it's only a matter of time before the tipping point is reached and mobile payments become the norm. You may have noticed that the US hasn't been mentioned yet. That's because consumers love the rewards that they get from using their credit cards, and it will be most likely one of the last modern nations to switch over to mobile payments. All right, USA, way to be in last place. So now you're probably wondering, what's going to happen to companies like Visa, MasterCard, or the big banks like Chase? If credit cards go away, won't that bankrupt them? Well, yes, if they stay with plastic money. But even these companies are providing mobile payment apps. Look here, this is the Visa page. As you can see, a variety of mobile payment choices. This one is for MasterCard. It's virtually identical to Visa. Finally, there's one for Chase, and just like the others, it offers a variety of mobile payments too. Let's think about this. If the big companies are switching to mobile payments, then most likely it's going to happen. So you might as well get ready for it, but you've got time. According to this report, you've got 10 years for this to happen, and the US is going to be the last to fully convert. Plenty of time to have a beer or two. Cheers. Okay, now for the second part of this show, blockchain growth and its effect on cryptocurrency. On page 60 of this report, there's a cool graph comparing the growth of the internet users to blockchain users. As you can see from this graph, the growth of blockchain users is following the same pattern as the internet users. Just to be clear, the top line is the internet users, and the bottom line is the blockchain users. The dotted line represents the projected growth. A couple of points to address. They removed the dates since it happened decades apart, and use a timeline to show the growth over years. Also, the number of internet users is 10 times that amount of blockchain users, so the blockchain growth isn't as fast. This may be a hint that it may be slower acceptance of cryptocurrency. Let's think back on the story of the internet and see if we can give some insights into the growth of blockchain users. The internet was open to the public in 1989, and all through the 90s, thousands of internet companies were formed, causing a dot-com bubble, which popped in 2000. This was a 11-year gap that was after it was open to the public. The bubble crushed a lot of companies, basically causing them to go bankrupt. Most notably WorldCom, which was the second largest long-distance telephone and data service provider in the US. This was a $175 billion company that went under, and both the CEO and the CFO went to jail for fraud. The question is, after the dot-com bubble popped and the companies went under and scandals were abound, did people stop using the internet? I'll give you time to think about it, even though I already know you know the answer. I just need to have a drink. The answer is, of course not. In fact, internet usage kept on growing at the same pace. The internet is too important and in our lives to stop using it. And that's what's going to happen with blockchain. Now, in this show, I'm trying to tie blockchain to cryptocurrency, but that's a small portion of what blockchain can do. Anything related to data, finance, or business can be improved with blockchain. And that's why you're seeing its growth similar to that of the internet. Looking at the graph again, we can see that blockchain users have only been around for about 8 years, and the internet bubble happened 11 years after the internet became public, making the assumption that cryptocurrency is to blockchain as user growth is to dot-com companies. The internet user growth then would have 3 more years to have the cryptocurrency bubble. Did you know that there are close to 2,000 different cryptocurrencies out there? I didn't. It wasn't until I met another volunteer here at Create TV, and his name is Frederick Roberts, and his show is Crypto News and Investigative Reports. That's where I learned about cryptocurrency. He showed me his website, this website called Coinbase.com, and told me I should buy some XRP coins from a company called Ripple. XRP is one of the larger coin markets out there, and it was at that time 28 cents per coin. So I bought 2,000 coins. I checked right before this show, and it's now at 24 cents per coin. Thanks, Fred. He gave me a t-shirt to make me feel better. So yeah, that evens it up. Well, he did say to hold it for 10 years and then check back with the results. So Fred, don't worry, we're all good. Cheers, buddy. But getting back to blockchain user growth and the effects on cryptocurrency, it looks like we will have a cryptocurrency bubble in 2023. And if it is similar to the dot-com bubble, then we may lose up to 50% or more of the cryptocurrencies out there. Does that mean that cryptocurrency will go away? Well, did internet companies go away after the dot-com bubble? No, they're all around us. I predict the same will happen with cryptocurrency. I need to point something out as I'm pulling out this graph again. As you can see, this graph compares the growth of internet users to blockchain users, not dot-com companies to cryptocurrency. That was my inferences and opinions. I'm not guaranteeing that cryptocurrency bubble is going to happen. I'm considering the similarities between growth patterns of internet users and blockchain users, and then making a connection of dot-com companies, their growth tied to internet users, and cryptocurrency growth tied to blockchain users. Then seeing that everything seems to be the same, so why wouldn't there be a cryptocurrency bubble? Of course, I drink beer, so I don't know if you can really trust my judgment, but cheers. So let's recap what we talked about tonight. This whole report is based on, my report is based on this Deutsche Bank research called Concept Imagine 2030. Again, I recommend you download it or at least read it off your computer. The link is below. I talked about the topics mentioned in this report. The first one was that in the 2030 decade, plastic money, meaning credit cards and debit cards, will be replaced by mobile payment apps. And second, blockchain user growth will be compared to internet user growth back when the internet first started. And with that, there's a chance that a cryptocurrency bubble will form in the next 3 years. Well, as you can see, my beer is almost empty, and that means we're at the end of the show. You've been watching the Beer and News Report. I've been your host, Art Maurice, and this is the beautiful studios of Create TV in San Jose. Please let me know what you think of the show, and hopefully you'll like it, and please subscribe to future shows. And remember to keep your beer cold and your interests hot. Until next time, cheers.